Welcome back here to St. George, Utah. For all the latest news, stats, polls, and more, visit NCAA.com. NCAA.com is the official online home for all all 88 NCAA championships. It's easy for me to say, right? There's Shane Hansen. We talked about him, the kid out of Canyon Lake, California, transferred from UC Davis. Broke his ankle December 16th against Drury. He had 12 points, 9 rebounds in 28 minutes when he went out with that injury. Ironically enough, to take that story a little further, he injured it by coming down on a player's ankle foot from Drury. And that young player that he came down on the foot of was a freshman also. As you see the basket inside by Jamar Berry, his name is Dominique Long, an outstanding freshman who broke his leg in the same game. About a minute left. Wow. And they wound up in the emergency room at the hospital in Honolulu in the same room together, side by side. He told me to say hello to all of his family, plus his girlfriend. He said, "You don't forget the girl." But he's quite a young man, good kid to talk to. A junior, he'll be back next year.
Yeah, I've had one of those boots on before. Those boots aren't that comfortable. Got to get used to walking with them and trying to go up steps. Pretty treacherous. Test your athletic mettle.
No question. And almost a steal by Jamar Berry. Substitution back into the Dixie State lineup. Number 44 coming in is Grosskreitz, the freshman. Also checking in is Bowie Jeffs, a senior out of Castledale, Utah. Wearing number 12. And he has the ball in his hands right now.
I think it's one of those times where you need your senior leadership to step up and make a basket right now.
Keep the ball on the offensive side of the floor. Johnny Little also in the lineup for Dixie State. He has the ball now. Top of the key. If you notice, there are two lines on the floor in the three-point circle. The line furthest from the basket is the new line for the men's basketball this year. It went from 19 feet 9 to 20 feet 9 inches. The ladies will still play with the line inside at 19-9.
I think the guys can handle it. Those kids are getting more and more athletic every single year you're watching.
The long jumper, the three, no good for Berry. And it'll be Dixie State's possession. You know, Sanchez back in the lineup.
This is that time, you know, where Dixie State has a chance to get back in this game. They can just start putting together some baskets. You know, you got to work the ball around. You know, Sanchez is being a great
one on this team this year, and he completes the three-point play, and it's a 19-9 ball game.
Well, he just put his team in position right now with Tangera on the bench. It gives him a chance now to score some points, get some momentum, and now he's one of the more physical guys out there.
7 assists for Chaminade so far today. Darryl Burton has 5 of those 7 assists. In fact, 4 of the top 10 assist leaders in the Pac-West is on this Chaminade squad. And there's a basket, that time by Jamar Berry, the junior out of Tacoma, Washington.
Jamar Berry, he was hurt this week. He sort of had what they call turf toe. Reminds you of a football injury. He had turf toe, but he's been responding well, and obviously he's looking good. He elevated really nice in that jump shot.
He was redshirted last season at Chaffee College in California, but we get a basket. On the other end is Dixie State's trying to hang tough right here. Matching basket for basket. Still down 10, though, with 5.5 to go in the first half.
Nice hustle by the hometown hero.
Sanchez. He has 3 points in the ball game. What in the last few ball games you had done kind of a chart on what he'd done in the last 3 or 4 ball games?
Yeah,
Sanchez.
He's been doing everything he's been asked to do. Number 32, Ryan Sanchez. But the thing about it is with this team is that when we talk to John Judkins, he says that he plays 10 people every single night. You know, this is a team that plays as a team. They united. The guys play hard. And even though they might be oversized in some of these basketball games, it's their competitiveness that keeps them in every single game.
There's a three-pointer that time by Joel Smith, who's shooting 43% from downtown. Not a bad three-point percentage. Came into the game 25 of 58. And the lead is 13 once again. And one. And again, it's the big guy in the middle, Nick Howard.
What I like is that Nick Howard's getting the ball, and look at him lean that shoulder in and being aggressive, initiating that contact, and that's what you want to see out of him. That's how you slow down a big man. You don't try to run away from him with your shot. You take it aggressive right up to him, right in between those arms, force that contact, hope you can get a foul and get to the line.
He hit a season-high 21 points against Western Washington. We're in St. George, Utah for the Division II game of the week. Burns Arena. Chaminade in the visiting blue. Dixie State in the home white jerseys along with Roland Williams. I'm Charlie Neal. Glad you could join us for this one. Chaminade has dominated and has never trailed in this ball game. And there's a turnover. One of the few that they've had this afternoon is Gottlieb couldn't find his man.
Well, we talked to Matt Mahar, the head coach over at Chaminade. He said turnovers is the biggest issue that he wants to improve on. Over their entire season, they've turned the ball over 135 times. Everybody else 73 times. That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio. That's something they definitely want to improve on, and now it just reared its ugly head in this basketball game.
Just under 17 turnovers a game for Chaminade. As you said, their opponents have only turned the ball over about 9 times a game. So that tells the story. As we look underneath here, another foul, and that is the big kid Zach Johnson, the 6'9" transfer from the University of Washington, picking up the foul.
Nick Howard, though, the guy initiating contact, doing what he's supposed to do. You know, he's stepping up against those big trees and banging and battling and doing all the dirty work.
Sanchez 3 won't fall for him. And there's a dispute on who the ball went off of. It looks like Dixie State is going to retain possession. Let's look at it once again. After the rebound, the battle for the loose ball. But if he was standing, the player was just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, standing out of bounds.
Nice thought. Nice thought. But
that was Cartier Carter that it went off of.
Still working the motion offense. Again, making Chaminade work defensively, not making it easy.
Andy Palmer was the man. Airs down the lane. Nick Howard again. And this one won't fall for him. But he's, again, going to the free throw line, and that's why he has gone to the line more than anybody else on this team. He doesn't mind taking it to the basket.
And that's exactly what they need out of Nick Howard. Continue to be aggressive with marks. That means the guy's inside banging, okay? This is the stuff that you don't always get the credit for, but this is what really helps your team. You're slowing down, you're putting points on the board, and he's being the guy that's attacking those big guys and really forcing them to play some defense.
Makes one of 2 free throws, 24-14, 10-point game right now. 3:30 to go here in the first half. Gottlieb with the jumper. It's off the mark. Here comes Sanchez for Dixie State. The long jumper. It's good. Tom Whitehead. 3-point shot, 24-17.
That's what Whitehead can do. I think when you start creating those open shots, it's up to those guys to hit them. Whitehead did a nice job there.
And a foul is going to be whistled against Dixie State as Joel Smith took it down the baseline, and he'll go to the free throw line. Joel Smith is a 76% free throw shooter.
Well, this is where that motion offense pays some dividends. You know, you just work the ball around and you look for openings in the defense. That time, Whitehead got a chance to square up, see the basket from the top of the key. For guys who are true shooters, it's one of the easiest shots in basketball. He nailed it down. Hats off to him. They definitely need the points.
Joel Smith, one of these young men that's in grad school at Chaminade, an education major. Played for Lorenzo Romar at the University of Washington from 04 to 08 before transferring to Chaminade. Started 11 games last season. Was redshirted in 06 and 07 with a stress fracture in his right foot. And he hits one of 2, 25-17.
One of the reasons I love Division II sports, the combination of athletics and academics. You know, kids here for all the right reasons.
3 young men on this Chaminade team that's in grad school have completed their undergrad eligibility in terms of the academic side of the ball. Mohamed Tangar, another one. He's in grad school. He played for Lute Olson. And
Joel Smith, he's pursuing his master's in education.
Jack Johnson, another one. The 3 from deep in the corner. No good for Darrell Burton.
Been a nice few series for Dixie State. Really sort of becoming a little more lively offensively, forcing them to shoot the jump shots. Offensively, continue to work that motion offense, looking for the open shot, but you got to knock them down, and that's something that Dixie State is starting to do now. If they want to get in this game, just continue on this path they're on.
And they're doing a pretty good job. Going to the free throw line is Tom Whitehead.
We'd sitting there talking with Coach John Judkins for Dixie State. He talked about not knowing which team is going to show up. There's 2 different teams that show up. One that plays uninspired and offensively can't find the rim. The other one that's tenacious and the guys all playing together as a unit. To me, at the start of this game, I saw the old Dixie State. Now I'm starting to see that new Dixie State, the one that's been 4-1, being aggressive and really trying to compete in this basketball game.
Zach Johnson got loose underneath and increased the lead to 8 after Dixie State had cut it to 6 after being down by 13, and it's 27-19. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half, and here's almost a steal. That's good hands by Burton, who's been all over the court, assist, defense, and everything else for Coach Matt Maher.
Chaminade talks about they like to play man-to-man defense, and when you play man-to-man defense, it works best when you have great athletes, and that's what they have on that side. Burton is a guy that's quick. He's a guy that can get out there and get his hands in those passing lanes, and you saw him.
And there again, the 3-pointer by Tom Whitehead. He's hit a pair in the game tonight, and the lead has been cut to 5, 27-22. At the other end, Burton's shot won't fall for him, and it went off in the hands of Joel Smith. Let's look at this 3-pointer again.
That time they were in man-to-man, and he saw that the defender was playing off of him 3 or 4 yards, and that gives a guy a chance to
3 or 4 yards, huh?
Yeah, I call them yards. That's my football thing.
I understand.
It was about 3 or 4 yards, and he puts the 3-pointer right in his eye.
It's been an 11-3 run for Dixie State after they were down 13.
They're sticking with what got them there, working the offense, forcing Chaminade to play some defense. That burns your lactic acid in those legs after a while when you're playing defense, when they're just working the ball around and getting everybody involved. Especially chasing a guy like Sanchez.
Down the lane, passes it off from the corner. This one doesn't fall. Long jumper, but they get it back. Whitehead keeps it alive.
Now you get right back to the offense, working that motion offense, putting Chaminade on defense, making them play hard, making those lactic acid, letting those legs burn.
Sanchez for 3, it's good. 2-point ball game. A 13-3 run for Dixie State. And a turnover for Chaminade. 27 seconds to go before halftime. They were down 13. Let's look at Sanchez as he elevates.
Well, Sanchez, what he did was he's been constantly trying to be aggressive and shoot the basketball. That time he had the open look, but he wasn't afraid to keep shooting the ball. That's what great scorers do. Tremendous job by Sanchez, squaring up, hitting a key basket for his team.
Here's Adam Ross. He has yet to score, but he's done a good job keeping the ball alive. At the buzzer. Weird.